What's up, Duke fans? Welcome to the Devil's Den podcast. I'm your host, Josh Smith, joined by my co-host, Raul and Shu. We're coming back. We're going to react to the Brotherhood run. So obviously Duke just kind of hosted Niagara and Howard. So we got to see Greg Paulus, got to see Kenny Blakeney back in the house. Duke kind of ran through this thing as expected a little bit. I think the average margin of victory was like 47.5 outside of like a 3 to 5 minute window in the second half against Howard. It wasn't super competitive, so we'll probably do this one a little bit different. We'll talk about the event as a whole. We'll kind of react to that a little bit. We'll do some game chatter. We'll give out some flowers, and then we'll kind of talk about maybe like what this event possibly could become, or maybe if we were in charge of it, who we would have liked to see. And then obviously it's feast week, it's Thanksgiving. So we're going to talk about Arkansas. We're going up to Chicago for that. Jon gets to go back home. I'm pretty excited about that game. Get to kind of see us back in action again. So we'll preview that one on a big neutral. But fellas, so we saw some guys coming home, right? You got Kenny Blakeney, you got Greg Paulus. I didn't mention Nate James, but got Nate back in the house as well. So a little bit of a homecoming kind of vibe here. Coach K was in the building. Shu, I know you were in the building, so we'll kind of do some vibe checks from press row here. But just off the top, fellas, it was a little like discombobulating seeing Greg, right? Like seeing him as just like a middle-aged man because we're the same age at this point. So it's kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, that 08 weight talk that we get into was literally 17 years ago, wasn't it? Like we're old, we're getting old. So shouts to Greg, man. It was cool to, I just was reminiscing a little bit. It wasn't that long ago where us three were talking about those games where they're playing as teammates together on this floor. So just a little full circle, we'll age ourselves a little bit. But Shu, kind of what was the vibes a little bit for the event? Obviously, it's a blowout. Obviously, it's a holiday weekend. Students are kind of coming in and out a little bit. But just overall, what was the scene?
Yeah, I mean, without being Thanksgiving break, there's not a lot of students still in town. But obviously, this thing's it's a special thing to have like the Coach K coaching tree expand so deep, and to be able to bring former players back at like Paulus and Kenny. They did a little pageantry before the game, giving them a game ball. So I was able to get a couple pics of Coach Blakeney with Coach K and Coach Scheyer. Also during the game, I don't know if Duke basketball fans are also aware, the Duke football team retained the victory bell by beating UNC. So the football team had rolled the bell out there during one of the timeouts and got a good standing ovation from the crowd. Other than that, Coach K in the building, saw Shane Battier was sitting right across from me, handful of other players. Cassius Stanley was there, come in and made a free throw for charity for like $1,000 or something. 101 better than the free throws that we were shooting that night.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, overall, I just kind of love the event. Some good questions asked to Kenny in the presser. I know Jim Sumner asked him about Rodney Rogers, who had recently passed away because Kenny played against him, and Kenny had some real thoughtful words about Duke and everything. So just a cool kind of event, and hopefully it'll expand and become something bigger in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I know Greg's post game was really good too. He talked about, I think Matt Giles had asked him about the influence that Coach K had on him and being able to come back. I really love that Jon has been intentional about sustaining the culture. I mean, it might not just be Jon. It's probably a bigger socio-political environment, ecology at Duke or whatever, however you want to describe it. But there has been a very clear effort, transparent effort of like, hey, Tatum's going to be our CBO. We're going to bring these guys in. And I love the combination of that where it's like, I'm going to go out of the house when I need to. Evan Brad's Dildy, like I feel comfortable and confident to do that, but I'm also going to make sure that the roots are like watered and nurtured and that we continue to keep this thing kind of strong. So, in that regard, love it. But,
I didn't realize for some reason that Blakeney was redshirting on that 91 team. We really have a tradition of having a guy redshirting and winning a title. Maybe we should get back to that. I know that red shirts aren't as well. I guess we have one.
Yeah,
right?
We got one. Yeah.
He didn't transfer in, but
that's a good. Oh man, that's a Oh man,
Little
I didn't
pull,
even think
little
about
pull.
that.
Let's pull.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
wonder if does he qualify as both? Does he qualify as the transfer in and the adversity event? Does he also count as like leaving the team, a la Suleiman, and
Right. Yeah.
transfer
Yeah.
in, a la Obi? Like, do I get to double dip? Because if you hit both qualifications, it's almost like a done deal or winning a title, right? Plus, you put it in Indy. I mean, I've already made my bet. So
Trifecta.
Well, he didn't transfer from another college, but at the same time, he did reclassify. So I don't know. Yeah. Maybe that counts.
Just saying, throwing it out there. Yeah, so the event was great. I really would like to see it continue to happen. It becomes to a point though where there's not that many coaches out there that we have, right? We do have several. We had Arizona State last year in an exhibition. We had UCF this year as an exhibition. Those could be two teams that you could add potentially to something like this to boost the resume. At the same time, I do think you have to be a little understanding of scheduling and resume building and doing all of this. Something, Raul, that we talked about a lot offline is how impressed we have been with, a few years ago in here, I kind of went and said that like Houston had kind of figured out how to like not trick the metrics, but how to like maximize your movement across the metrics by how they scheduled. And Jon has really started to kind of tap into that and take it to a big time level. And
we've
so
seen, to your point, we've seen like we've played 4 teams that are kind of ranked down in the 300s on KenPom, and then we have the rest of the teams that we're playing in the non-con are like top 25, top 40 kind of teams that should count as quad 1 wins. So if we were able to beat them, so it's like quad 1 or quad 4, right? The quad 4 is where you run up the score and boost your metrics. The quad 1 is where you get the quality wins that help you with your
or
seeding.
even if it's not a bad loss, right? And you're not getting threatened too much by the quad 2 kind of on a neutral.
It's no different than the offense, like threes and layups, no middle,
exactly.
Mid-range.
It's a 100%. That's a great analogy. Yeah, I mean, it is that. So, I'm sure that plays a role when we're talking about how this thing could go. But let's get into it a little bit, fellas. Again, we are going to talk about this, I think, across. So we're going to do more kind of thematic stuff. We can kind of, wiggle our way through. I just want to start, but I think one of the bigger storylines, and I'm going to start that in the front court here. So if you've been looking at any kind of player of the year metrics, Cam has been there, rightfully so, from the get-go. Big Pat starting to make some movement here. So Evan Mia just kind of released some of his. Pat is third. Now, he's not even listed on KenPom, so there are some like maybe sample concerns, or maybe not sample, but volume metrics that some of these put into place of like you have to hit like a certain volume to really kind of be able to enter this conversation. I think there's weight to that, or then you're talking about, is this like the best role player or something? However, I think what is clear though is that Pat's playing really well. In this event, what did he miss? Like 1 shot from the field, or maybe 2 or 3 shots from the field total?
Just 1, and it was a 3.
So he missed a 3 in the second game. That was it. He was perfect the first game, right? He just missed 1 free throw, I think was the only thing in the first game. Just a hell of a weekend from Pat. Obviously, competition isn't insane or anything, but we're really starting to see this start to kind of flow a little bit. If you go back to the UCF game and even the Tennessee game a little bit, there was a lot of clunkiness, a lot of awkwardness, and like, how is this too big thing going to look? And to their credit, I think both have figured it out at a high level. Maybe I'm giving Pat a little bit more flowers because I think it sometimes is harder to figure it out as not the guy. Like the guy's the guy, so like he revolves and you kind of have to figure out where you fit. And we're 7 games in and it's looking pretty damn good, fellas. So let's just start with some Pat chatter here. Give some flowers to Big Pat.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Big Pat. I love his personality. One, just getting to talk to him after the game, big smile. Seems to have fun out there. But yeah, the efficiency is incredible. I guess when I was watching, what I was thinking about, and this isn't a comparison, but kind of just a more athletic, a little bit more skilled Marshall Plumlee. Just put him in the dunker spot. You're not even running plays for him, but he is the release valve. That how many oops did he catch this weekend? I mean, he probably had 5, 6, 7 dunks.
Great hands.
Yeah, great hands. I mean, coming from Isaiah, threw him a couple. Nick hit him with a couple. Caleb, Cameron's, the high-low, big-to-big passing has been great. So, just to put up that kind of efficiency and not really in those numbers and not really even have plays called for you necessarily. He's just one of the options in a play. I'm just really impressed with that.
Yeah, especially the passing and playmaking stuff too, man. It really unlocks what we're able to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is like he doesn't just have to be in the dunker spot because he is such a good passer. We can invert that, right? And he can operate out high and either hit cutters or he can hit Cam over the top there. So it just gives you a lot of options. The other thing is just Scheyer mentioned this, having a big who can hit their free throws is just so valuable. He goes 10 of 11 in the first game. And if you just can't do like a hack-a-pat kind of thing, then that just really helps you down the stretch of games. Now, obviously, he's got to stay out of foul trouble and stuff like that. And we've talked about that in bigger games, but that's really the only thing you can point to that you might criticize that he's doing. Otherwise, I think he's protecting the rim really well as well. I feel like my preseason prediction of like, this might be the most productive Duke front court we've ever seen, like duo of like true kind of bigs, is looking pretty good right now, right? We got Cam up at like over 20 points per game. We've got Pat at 13. Over this weekend, he averages 16.5. We'll see if obviously that may not keep up because we played two very small teams, and so even when he wasn't able to like catch cleanly, he was able to go up and just get fouled or whatever. They had no way of stopping him other than that. So, I imagine against bigger teams, it won't look quite as smooth. And there might be times when Malik is the better option. But yeah, he's clearly right now, we've clearly got a big three of Cam, Pat, and Isaiah.
Yeah. And it's almost, man, like it's like I'm almost starting to look at it as like Slim kind of like orbiting like in his own like moon or something. And it's like maybe the big three is just the front court. Maybe it's just Cam, Pat, and Malik, because even Malik looks like really damn good.
Yeah.
And I think it's because Malik is good, but I also think it's because of the system and the plays that we're doing and the way that he moves and the way that like it's just unlocking him too. Like it's just highlighting him and he's being showcased because we're not really having to change what we're doing offensively when Malik comes in, right? Like him, Pat, Cam, they can all kind of operate. Obviously Cam's going to be the more aggressive, but it's just the front court itself, man.
Well, Cam's commanding double teams and is an excellent passer. And then Pat and Malik are
all
both.
Three of them are excellent.
Yeah.
I don't even know who the best passer of those three would be. Like, I know you could say a flashy type, but I don't even know. Like, you could probably make the argument for any of them.
Yeah.
I think Malik throws the riskiest passes. Pat's a little bit more safety, I guess. He doesn't throw anything crazy. But Cameron, his passes are under duress a lot of time when he's being double, even triple team. But like I said, Malik and Pat.
Well, and I count the outlet passing for Cam too, right?
Sure.
So when you put that in there, it's like, well, who is the best passer? I don't
know. You'd probably have to go with Cam just because he's, has the highest assist count and he's also not turning the ball over, and Malik can get a little too risky sometimes. And then just the fact that Cam is able to make these 70-foot passes without turning it over is just, and I know that's another one of our talking points and I'm kind of jumping ahead, but to come back to Malik, any guesses on what he is shooting from 2-point range strictly?
Oh man, I heard Jim Boeheim on the thing. It was something like he's only missed like one shot maybe, or it was like 18 of 19 or 17 of 18, or like maybe I'm off.
Yeah, so now it's up to 19 of 20. So 95%.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's
crazy. He's getting spoon fed though, and like mostly in transition.
All of his are just like the easiest little like curl to nobody, and it's just him in the rim. He's just going up. The passing, man. And to go back to Cam a little bit, like that one that he made to Malik and DBP, kind of like they slowed it down. But like in real time, it looks like, he catches, he turns, he sees Malik beat his man, and he throws it to him. Malik gets the easy pass. But when you're looking at the slow down, he throws that pass before Malik's there. Like before, by the time you're like, you should make that pass, that would have been a turnover. right? So that's what's impressive to me is all three of those guys, the predictive like passing, man. And when you put Cayden out there with them too, and Nick, like that five together would be like an insane. Like they might not even take a shot. We might just get shot clock violation because like we're just passing the ball around and no one's shooting. But yeah, man, it's been fun to watch too because they're sharing the ball. It does remind me this version of Duke, I think, might remind me the closest to Jon as a player watching Duke. Like I know we talk about 08 Duke all the time. It's kind of a running joke, but there's a lot of that, like just that ball movement. Like my favorite play in Duke history might be that play when I think Jon was on the floor and it's just like
everybody touched it in the transition.
Ball, they come back, like the pass is far. Yeah, they dip it back to like Henderson or McCoy or somebody, whoever just catches it and it's just like the most beautiful play ever. All five guys touch it. It's in transition. It's off a defensive stop. This is close to that, man. Like the passing that we're seeing is close to probably that. Like what was that? 08? I think that was 08. So yeah, I mean, it's cool that every year that we're seeing bits of Jon as the player, kind of coming through. And I would say for me this year, the most obvious would be the passing.
Yeah. I'm also just impressed with the improvement in pace. So Jon's first year, Duke plays really slow, kind of ugly bully ball style. Second year, they're a little bit faster, but not super fast. Last year, they start to pick up pace kind of towards the end of the year, but they were kind of middle of the pack. This year, now they're only 198th in adjusted tempo overall, but I think I may have pointed this out to you guys. They are 10th in average possession length on offense, but almost dead last on defense. Well, not 364th, in fact. So 364 out of 365. So we're playing the longest defensive possessions in the country, but playing one of the fastest offensive tempos in the country. So the net result looks like an average tempo, but we are on offense. We're flying up the court. You know, just it's like it's an outlet pass almost every time. You see, like the team, like just the second they know that somebody's getting the defensive rebound, three guys are streaking down the court.
Yeah,
and that's really just opening things up. Now on defense, there's nothing bad about playing slow because the fact is the reason we're playing slow on defense is because teams just cannot get a shot off against us. You know, especially those overmatched smaller teams like Niagara and Howard. What was that stat in the first half of the Niagara game? They had 1 2-point mate.
Yeah, they were one of eight. I think they were 1 of 8, and they had shot like 16 threes in the first half.
Yeah, and they'd made like 5 threes, and that was all their scoring.
Yeah,
and it was like mostly one guy.
That's an excellent point about like how the passing is increasing our tempo because we're able to use it to push the ball up the court. Like I was texting you guys, and I was like, I need to get like a stat tracker or pay for some more like analytics that I have access to. But like I'd like to know comparing our average time in transition to get a rim finish just across college basketball right now, because it seems like, I mean, Cam's making passes where like we're having to take 1 dribble, 2 dribbles, and it's a rim finish in transition. It's like 2-3 seconds. Like that is incredible. And it's not just like this, like helter skelter, like everyone run either. Like there's a reason why he's hit Slim 3 different times on this. There's a reason why it's always kind of the same little play, and they're staggered. Like if you look, we don't send everybody, right? Like a few guys are like, we do one that's like kind of like right above the level. Then there's another one that's like mid-court, and then one guy streaking, running. So like there's options, like even on that. So it's impressive, man. Like the learning curve, the how quickly Jon has been able to get to his spots coaching each year is super impressive. Like super impressive. Every year we've seen it, right? Like 23 started, 24. Kind of started kind of slower, right? We had all these guys coming back. We're preseason number 2, and we're clunky. We can't figure this out. Arizona comes in immediately at home. We take an L. 25, we come in. We got all the talent, a lot of pressure, right? A lot of expectations. Takes a little bit. Now, I'm not saying that this is just going to be this linear track that Duke is just going to run this thing off. But to be where we're at when we're here, I don't think you can deny that it's better be here than not.
Yeah, we're way ahead of where we were at the same time last year. Yeah, now, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that means this team is going to be as good as last year, but it just means that entering this tough stretch, hopefully we'd be a little bit better prepared.
Yeah. And maybe the landscape isn't quite as intimidating as it was last year too. I don't know. But as it stands, I mean, it's hard to feel anything but really optimistic so far about how we're playing and what we're doing. So wanted to highlight the passing on that one. Wanted to highlight Pat. I think we can talk about Slim a little bit. Like, I'd like to hear somebody kind of really ask Jon a little bit about like his maturity and like how can you lean into Slim maybe even more. I think his shot diet has almost been too restrictive, maybe, right? Like, is there more there? And I'm not saying that from a critical standpoint. I'm saying like that's how Jon talks, right? Like we've seen throughout the season, he'll talk about like, I need to get this guy more shots, or I need to help him, or there's more there for him. I'd be curious to see what he thinks of Slim so far and if there is more there, because it's been great. But I think when I'm watching it, it's like, I don't know if we need him to be this or if he should be, but when I'm watching it, I'm like, there's way more here. Like this kid could average over 20 points a game at Duke this year at this level. And maybe we can tap into that too. Maybe we get into it a little bit more, especially as you get into the stakes increase. And he's not playing.
I think the bigger games,
a game, right?
I think the bigger games you're going to see that from him, and it just seems everybody's content for again sharing the ball. I mean, we had 45 turnover assists in 2 games there over the weekend, and I mean, you're looking at the box score. Cam took 12 shots, but everybody else are in that 6 to 9 shot range. So everybody's kind of spreading the wealth around, getting their chance. But yeah, I mean, definitely you could see a lot more from Slim in the big games. But again, not just a shooter anymore. We saw he lived above the rim Sunday. I know that. I mean, he had 3 huge dunks
on both sides.
Yeah,
both sides. That nice block too. Like
the outlet pass to him where he kind of went in the lane and went. I mean, I was sitting beside Jordan Mann, and that was probably one of the closest times I've came to jumping up out of my seat there
because he wanted to throw the lob, and they just didn't take the rim away, and he was like, "Okay, bro," and just boom, like. Yeah, there was a lot of bounce going on, man. I thought Darren should have had one. He thought he was a little bit on an island back there where he tried to cock back and go all the way back. It's like, oh, you could have just went up and probably.
Yeah, old buddy came in pretty. I could see him chasing that down. That what was?
I think it was Harris.
Bryce Harris.
Harris.
Yeah, Harris is a nice player. Bryce Harris, that is.
Sure.
He ended up hitting Darren on the arm a little bit. Fortunately, otherwise it would have been it was almost a clean block there.
It was pretty clean. Yeah,
it was nice to see Harris get like a few steals there pretty quickly, and just have the chance to get out and run a little bit. Of course he goes 1 of 4 at the line, which is a little bit weird, but dragged out our free throw percentage, but can't complain too much. To come back to Isaiah, it's funny because he's doing a lot of things better this year. So he's getting to the free throw line like essentially 3 times as much despite playing only twice the minutes. So the free throw rate's up. Same thing with assists, like 4 times as many assists despite playing only twice the minutes. So assist rate is basically doubled. He's averaging 1 block a game, which is up there near the top of the team. I think, maybe Cam's at like 1.3 or something, or Pat might be up there as well. But to have Isaiah be like one of our leading block getters is a kind of an unexpected development. So he's really rounded out his game. He's definitely taking a lot more 2-point attempts, but I think the 3-point attempts could come back up a little bit, to your point. He's only at 6.4, where he's at 4.1 last year, playing half the minutes. So I'm like, why can't this be at least 8?
Yeah.
Just, and just to see him like so many games lately where he's like just at like 8 shot attempts, I think ultimately you're going to have to lean into him being, one of our 3 best players along with Cam and Pat. And that's going to require at least like, 11 to 13 shot attempts a game once we get into like the heart of the schedule. So hopefully it will go up a little bit because we just don't have anybody who can kind of like unlock the spacing on the perimeter like he can.
Yeah, and it's because it's weird too, because it's like almost like I agree with everything you said, but I'm almost in my head, I'm like, how do we treat him like get him as a third best player, the third leading scorer, but like running stuff as he's like the number one option.
Well, yeah, because he
right?
pulls
Because what
so
you run
much
for
forward,
him
yeah.
runs for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Like it,
Yep.
and maybe that's what we're doing. And it's
Yeah.
just like, hey, they're just taking that away from him, and they're just not letting,
Well,
they're
think you
just
see that.
sucking over to that. And so it's just opening, out when we get Brian on, I'll ask him that. We'll say like, hey, talk to me a little bit about this gravity and what it looks like, because I want more. Are we actually getting what I'm wanting? And I'm just not.
I mean, last year he's coming off these screens, just curl and shoot. Now he's coming off. He can shoot it, but maybe he puts it on the floor and takes it to the paint. Either finishes it off himself or throws the lob up. I mean, he made that nice kind of like no look over his head to, I think it was Khamenia in one of those games, and I mean, made a couple.
And it's nice not to need him to go flame throwing, right? Like it's nice not needing that. I guess for me, I'm just like excited about like I'm wanting like just a 35 piece, right? Like a 30 piece where he's just coming in and torches Arkansas for Feast Week and just like lights them up or something like that. Like, I don't know. Just one of those kind of vintage games.
I mean, ultimately, his offensive rating's higher, his BPM's way higher, so he's having more impact. Even if like we're not seeing it quite in the volume of shots, I think it is just because of the assists and all the other stuff he's doing in the blocks.
Yeah, I mean, player development is something that like we talked about it already a little bit, but it's something we're going to have to track. And if we can get Coach back on again, I think that's going to be a big thing of like, look, man, we're seeing this with like, name a guy who didn't develop this year. Like name a guy that you think is like, oh man, like he didn't take the leap, or oh, we're not seeing any improvement, or I don't know that you can make that. I don't know that you could make the argument that we haven't seen significant improvement in every player that's returned this year. Personally, like, I mean, I don't know, right? Like all of them see like the development is there. You're starting to get like, okay, Caleb's not going to be, maybe Caleb's not junior Nolan Smith, but I personally never thought that was going to be the trajectory for him. But I know sometimes people get there, but yeah, man, for me, the internal development here, you go out, you don't get any transfers, you double down on your guys, you bring them back in, and you commit to like coaching them and developing them. Izzo made the little kind of backhanded thing of like, I commit to my guys, but like, this is what it looks like to me.
Yep.
If you're going to bring them back in, like, let's commit to it and let's get them to buy in and fill the role that you need. And I'm starting to think that what Caleb's doing is what Jon has said. This is the role that I need you to play.
Yep.
I think that I can get you here, and maybe there's more. But maybe the more is too volatile for Caleb, and keeping it very simple. I thought he showed a little bit.
I thought he showed a little bit more aggression over this weekend. I mean, I know it's a lesser opponent. Yeah.
The 3-point shot is starting to rise, and I want that, man. I mean, he's shooting what, 50-something%, 45% right now.
Yeah, I guess because he missed. Yeah, he missed in this last game, so it was at 50, but 45 you'll still take, obviously.
And I was going to point out to the lane a little bit. I mean, obviously,
yeah.
Niagara didn't have a lot of size.
He was doing it against Kansas a little bit though, too.
Yeah.
Like a little bit.
I was going to point out also just development within the season for the one and done guys, because obviously you can't assess them on the same level. But when you think about the development of a guy like Jared McCain from the beginning of the season to the end of the season, that was huge. He wasn't like that amazing. Same thing. Like went from, shooting 7 of 18 against Kentucky or Kansas or whatever it was early in the year, really struggling. To the end of the season, just being this efficiency machine, to being the, potential rookie of the year right now in the NBA. McCain would have won rookie of the year last year. We saw Cooper like really break out in ACC play and just kind of figure everything out and have everything come together. So yeah, even within one season.
Yeah, I mean, Connor's setting records right now in the NBA, and dude was 5 of 20 against Kentucky last year. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of.
yeah,
I
and I
couldn't
think
remember.
he was like really, really. I think he went scoreless against like Boston College or something. Like they try to take it away from, things like that happen. And yeah, that improvement that we've seen. Look at Derek Lively. Look at Kyle Filipowski. Look at insert whoever. Really, no, not always. There's times when it doesn't happen. TJ Power, Sean Stewart. There's times. I think maybe you'll see though that those examples are maybe there's other factors there.
Maybe they just
but
plateau on some level. Like Mark Mitchell is pretty much the same player he's always been. Like,
yeah, he's
which
a
is not a
good
bad
player,
player,
but just there's limitations that exist. And so giving some flowers for that. But in terms of this weekend, y'all, I mean, is there anything else that y'all want to tap into specifically for this? I mean, we've hit on the passing, we've hit on the front court stuff.
I mean, I did like that, I think we've talked about it in these kind of games where you're playing a team ranked in the 300s. What do you want to get out of it? I want to see us play solid defense without fouling, passing the ball, executing your plays, which I thought we did a pretty good job of. One thing I noticed in the Niagara game, we seem to be hammering the same play where you get it on the wing, drive in, and Malik's like on the baseline. He sets like a back pick. You throw a skip pass to a guy in the corner for an easy three.
Yeah.
And we ran that 2 or 3 times. Well, I don't know if this was by design, but one of the times Malik just jumped up and picked it off. And instead of letting it go to the corner, he kicks it to Caleb on the wing.
Popped
there.
It right back to him, drilled it.
And drilled it. So, just some little wrinkles like that, just working out, different plays and stuff. So
did it again for Cam, but I think he missed it. But
yeah.
Anyway.
But still, either way, like that's what I like to see in these kind of games where, again, you're winning by 40 or 50. Just can we execute? Can we do what we set out to do? And I thought for the most part we did a lot of that. We've been great, like out of timeout, off of timeouts, baseline out of bounds plays, like really efficient doing stuff.
He coaches his reactions and this type of stuff. Like you'll see that, right? Like what you're talking about, like we're gonna run the same action. And I don't know, but like based on what we've heard from Jon, based on what we've seen from Jon, to me, it seems like, okay, I'm going to set an action that has like multiple different peels and options from it. And we're going to run it because they're not stopping it. And I'm just going to keep running it. And this is the only thing that you're going to run, and you're going to run, you're going to run. And eventually they're going to catch on to it and they're going to start doing it. And I'm not going to tell you, like, I want to see how y'all are going to read and react. Like, what are you going to do eventually? And we saw it the game before or 2 games before where they started kind of like just selling out on the flare screen. And it's like, bloop, here you go. Pat's just going to slip this right down here. Here's a dub. What you got for me again? I'm going to the same play next time. We got another action on the other side. Like, I think he's using this stuff to just get ready. Because we saw it last year too. It's not that like all of our actions changed. It's just what we started doing after the initial piece.
Yeah.
Right. Like
it's
all of
read
that
and react,
like secondary, tertiary stuff. But we're not quite probably where we're going to be,
Yeah, Isaiah had a quote about that on social media. I think Ben sent it to us in the chat of just like all the different reads that could come off that initial play. So just definitely that speaks to your point. The other thing I liked that I wanted to mention before we move on is I like to see Jon kind of getting into his bag and trying out some different lineups. Like, you're up 40, who cares, right? Like, I know we're all a little bit annoyed by that 16-4 run at the end of the Howard game, but does it really matter? Like, he tried a small ball lineup with Khamenia at center. It didn't work.
Did not work. Yeah.
No.
Cool lineup though.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Did not work.
Now in the Niagara game, he tried like the opposite, where and it kind of did work.
Yeah.
Cam, Malik, and Pat, and Sar at the 2, with Caleb at the 1. So you're going 6'5", 6'8", 6'9", 6'9", 6'11", and they played some zone there, which was actually pretty effective.
Yep. I like that, seeing the different lineups. It was interesting that the small ball lineup did not play at all. But that's what you're playing, a smaller team, bro. Like, that's how they do. Like, that's what they're gonna do. And that didn't work. Yeah, that was a terrible segment. I mean, you're looking at this game and it's like 93-56, and it's like, oh, okay, that's a great win. But there was a point where it's like, this thing probably could have finished closer to how the Niagara game did, probably, right? Like 105 to like 40 something or 50.
Yeah, because they were up like 89-40, and then it ends up, so.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're up 15, win by 36 or whatever it was. But
did Jon mention in the Niagara game? I know Dave and the media team had posted Malik had 7 deflections in like the first 5 minutes that he played, and the apparently the single game record was 10. I'm almost positive he had to have had more than 10 deflections throughout that game. But I mean, I know the defense, we don't have an elite rim protector like a Malawatch, Mark Williams, Lively like we have had recently, but I think the overall defense on the perimeter, like being in the lane, passing lanes, and just being able to move, guard and pick and rolls and stuff, it's probably on par with last year's team almost.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks different for sure, right?
Sure.
Like it looks different. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point. Of like, I think, last year we were able to use the length to just really dictate where you're going a lot too. Like we could just really take things away and at a different. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
But teams aren't.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say teams aren't scoring at the rim against us so far.
No. And it's not, and we're doing it kind of different too. And it's just
they're just not getting in there is the thing,
Yeah, we're no middling pretty hard. We're keeping them out pretty hard, but we're using that length that we have on. Like last year, the length was at the rim. This year, the length is preventing you from getting near the rim, right? And so it was kind of like different in how you set, because you had Cooper and Khamenia down there, and it's like you can set that up however you want. But now it's like, okay, we can put Dame up top here. We got Slim up top here too, ton of length. And so it just looks different. That's good.
And we're doing a bit better, I think, at jumping passing lanes as well. I've noticed more of that this year.
A lot of deflections overall, not just Malik, right?
Yeah, exactly. Cam's really good at jumping passing lanes. He's had like almost 2 a game, just like where he just,
and just reaching in, dude. Like we're watching it, dude, and I'll get a little nervous sometimes. I'm like, man, like you cannot pick up a foul right here, dude. Like chill, and we're just hard, just like, and it's like we're putting pressure on it that way of like, hey, you're not gonna just get down in here and throw over the tops and do this type of stuff.
And Dame.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and Dame and Malik will pick up some fouls that way, but I think that's okay for them. The guy you can't have doing that and getting cheap fouls is Cam, but he's been good at that so far. There was a play that was hilarious to me. I don't know if you remember it from the Niagara game where Malik and Dame trapped a guy on the sideline, and the dude is so trapped he just falls out of bounds and has the Duke ball. They said he dribbled it off his leg. No, he just fell.
Just like I don't know what to do. There was another one where the
trapped
guy
somebody at the center court, and
one guy stays it. He turns around and he's just like, and he just kind of throws it right to Cayden. He's just like, "Thanks, bro," and I'm gonna go. We're gonna head this way now.
Do you guys have a favorite play of the 2 games? Because I could think of, I mean, the Isaiah dunk was awesome, but I'm thinking the Cam jumps I guess it would really jump in the passing lane. They tried to throw it over his head like a pick and roll. He picked it off and started the break, but we were literally running a fast break between it was Cam. He passes out to Pat, passes it back to Cam, and then Cam hits Isaiah on the wing for a 3 in the place.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Good one.
But I mean, Cam's running the break with Patrick. Your 2 big guys are setting up the break.
I did really like that one you mentioned, actually, Shu, where Pat like hard hedges out like near center court, and Dame just comes in there and just like deflects the ball, and he starts leading the break, and he just makes a nice pass ahead to Pat. Like I know that's simple, but just for our big man, our 6'11" guy, who's arguably the slowest guy we have on the floor, to be able to like hedge like that 35 feet out and us not get burned for doing it,
Yeah, I mean that's a good one. It would probably be. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to pick like a single. I was trying to think, is there a single pass that I think like captures it? I don't know if there's a single one. Yeah, I don't know. I will say one of my favorite ones from the Howard game though is just when we were doing Nick and Pat in that little 2-man game. And Nick's so good. Like sometimes I'm thinking that like, hey man, like that you can finish that. Like just go finish that. But man, he's so good in using the little like hesitation. He had the little kind of fake little give and go wrap around, man. Like I love that kid.
And Pat also knows how to roll at just the right speed
and how to manipulate it, and the timing of it. He's got great hands too. Like, yeah,
coming around, I think Nick had 9 assists over the weekend. Now he
had some turnovers, but
had some turnovers. Yeah,
had some turnovers,
mostly in the Howard game. So
and he's a like a true freshman to me, right? Of like a true good freshman. Like he's good. Yeah. He's gonna play. But you're gonna have to like he's gonna be here probably a little bit too, right? Like we're gonna see this kid develop a little bit, man.
Yeah, he and Sar definitely both have some warts, some things to work out, right?
But for me, Nick is just a guy that just looks like a basketball player. Yeah. Like just looks like he belongs on the floor, like in a way that maybe like other guys in the past just haven't ever really done.
And I like that he's essentially Duke's third string point guard. Mm-hmm. Like he operates as point late in games, like in these blowouts. He's done it pretty much every game. So that's clearly Scheyer wanting to develop that in him. And I think it is going to pay off. Maybe we don't see it in the tournament this year or anything because it's going to be Cayden and Caleb, but maybe next year.
You never know. Yeah. And next year, how the roster shapes out, you got a guy right there. You might not want that to be like your primary point guard. But
having a 6'9" guy that can do that is pretty cool.
Yeah, especially if you're going to surround him with combos, right? Like let's say Cayden leaves for whatever. I know we're getting hypothetical, but just 5 seconds, and you're running out Caleb Foster and Jordan Smith. Nick might be my creator. Like Nick might be the guy that gets us into some of the actions and gets things rolling here. But yeah, shouts to Nick. So, all right, fellas. Obviously, go ahead.
I just want to say one more thing about Nick. He's hitting his threes now.
Yeah, he was looking a lot more shot ready. Yeah, they mentioned that they'd been working on him to be more shot ready. Definitely saw it in the Niagara game, man. Some of those he was taking some deep ones there.
Deep wing threes, a couple corners. He hits in this one he only goes the Howard game he only goes 1 of 2, but I think in the other one he was 3 of 4 or something, right? I know he made 3 threes. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and being more aggressive offensively too. Yeah. I think in both games he was one of the last players to score, right? So
and Cayden hitting his spot up threes as well as it could be.
That was another big one too, man. Yeah, a lot of great spot up shooting. Again, it's you're playing these teams that you're getting a lot of just spray,
very open looks,
wide open, low stakes shots. So, shouts to the Brotherhood run. Cool event. Great event. Like to see that continuing. Fellas, let's transition and kind of talk a little bit about some Feast Week stuff here. So we'll be heading to Chicago. Going to get to play Arkansas. Jon gets to go back home. Not sure if Kay's making the trip or if he's going to be there. I would imagine being from Chicago, maybe there's something there, but who knows? But should be a good time, hopefully, right? If we can finish this thing out, get a nice win here. Again, I know we're kind of having this conversation a few times, fellas, but going back to our preseason previews here, is Arkansas at the level? Is this still the kind of marquee game that you thought it was going to be? Is this about what you expected? Do you see any kind of trap stuff here? What are you making of Arkansas? I think now the Michigan State loss doesn't look like a big deal at all, right? Michigan State looks great. So where are y'all at? Outside of that game, though, there's nothing to really compare them to other than the Winthrop fight that she was a fan of. But.
Well, it's an interesting kind of stylistic matchup because I think their best talent is on the perimeter. They got a lot of highly ranked, talented guys out there. Between Acuff and Thomas, and then even Carter Knox is sort of a perimeter player, more of a wing guy, but so some serious high school talent that's some of them are not freshmen anymore, but
wasn't DJ Wagner the number 1 player in his class, like a top 3 player in his class?
I think when he first came in,
now he's a junior now. So, So that's interesting because I think everybody would kind of concede that Duke's primary talent is in the front court this year. And so to kind of I think it's going to be a great test for our backcourt against their backcourt to see like how it holds up defensively. How strong is this perimeter defense of Duke's? Because if you can shut down their perimeter, I think we can win this pretty comfortably because we're going to have the front court advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you look at their team and it's kind of like, I mean, I guess it's your typical Cal team, really, right? Like this like hodgepodge roster of kind of like semi-raw talent, little bit of sprinkled in shooting, little bit of front court toughness. It's kind of all in there. I mean, they do have some length. They do have a little bit of height. I don't know what to make of them too much yet. I was watching the little like highlights and takeaway from that Winthrop game. I mean, they won by 1. They got in a fight. Then they turned right back around and beat Jackson State. It was absolutely terrible by like 40 or 50 or whatever it was. They're going to play a lot of good teams coming up. So we'll see. But I just don't know, man. I don't know what to make of Calipari anymore either. So it's a really weird game for me. Hard to put a read on it. I mean, the line is 10. Like, I think I would feel pretty comfortable there. I don't know. Shu, you wary of this one?
What ball are we using?
That's a good point.
Yeah,
they got to shoot with it too.
That's true. But I think it might hurt us more as the, potentially higher volume 3-point team.
Yeah,
that's true.
Another interesting thing to look at is they kind of play pace-wise about the same way we do, where real fast on offense, slow on defense. So we'll see how that plays out. This could end up being a little bit of a track meet game, simply if both teams really just want to push it on offense. But you got to kind of like Duke's chances here going in favored by 10 on Ken Palm and playing in Chicago. I imagine some Arkansas fans will certainly travel up there, but Chicago has always been pretty Duke friendly for obvious reasons. So I'm kind of banking on that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you're really hoping to control the boards too here, right? Like you want to control the boards, you want to control the paint. Coach is going to emphasize that, so you're hoping that's going to track here.
And they're not a particularly amazing rebounding team. So 209th in offensive rebounding, 114th in defensive. So you would think we'd be able to. Yeah,
I'm going to imagine it's something kind of like the Texas game was. It's going to be a tough, gritty, fault game, but eventually we kind of just wear people down because we're sending waves at you. I mean, that second unit that comes in, and we've seen it over the last couple of games, like they come in and hound you right away, right? And then I think John's even talked about like getting off to a better, faster start because he feels like the starters sometimes they kind of pace themselves at the beginning of the game, and that's why substitutes kind of quickly to get those other guys in. Like, no, we're trying to come at you, as hard as we can, all 40 minutes. So I think that just wears on teams, and eventually we don't have a lot of depth. A lot of it'll depend on the the foul situation too. We can Big Pat and Malik stay out of foul trouble because we'll need those guys in these games.
And that's a good point, because that's something that they are going to do. Like Acuff and Malik Thomas, they're going to put some pressure on you, right? Like they're going to put some pressure up there. How do we hold up with that? What is that going to look like? Those two guys are going to be I guess DJ Wagner in there as well, but kind of a three-headed guard attack a little bit. But yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see, because DJ Wagner's coming off the bench for them, right? Or is he?
I believe so, he might be their 3-man, but I think in the Ken Palm starters, I think it's Acuff, Thomas. Maybe it is Wagner, Brazil, and
so they kind of split it, him and Malik, and those guards kind of all. So they're gonna play a little bit smaller. That would be interesting to see.
Looking at it, Wagner has started all 6 games. And then there's been a little bit of fluctuation with Brazil. He didn't play one game, so I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah,
And
him and
then,
Knox both missed the
Yep.
game, it looks like.
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, so maybe they just haven't settled in, really is what it is. But they do have experience in the front court, which I get, they
Yep.
do start their two senior, Pringle and Brazil are both 6'10" seniors. Like they've been around.
That's true. That's true.
They're
Pringle's almost what, like 5th team, 4th team?
Yeah, I think I mean he
Started
started at
like
Wofford, then went
Alabama,
to South Carolina,
South Carolina.
and then
Yeah.
back to Arkansas. So yeah.
And Brazil's a shot blocker, so that's something to look out for. We've seen, Cam is, had his struggles finishing at the rim. I mean, even against Niagara, he got blocked once or twice. Again, in the Howard game, he goes, like 8 of 9 from 2, so that was fine. But I wanted to come back to the slow start thing. That was one thing I forgot to mention that I liked over this last weekend. 15-3 start against Niagara, 14-4 start against Howard. They were saying on the broadcast that Cam Boozer said he was disgusted with the way they started against Kansas. So I like the fact that they've seemed to, again, against a lesser opponent, at least, they seem to have figured out, like, how do we come out of the gate and just blitz teams?
Yeah. And you see, and even John's being like, okay, this first play, I want to hit on this first play, right? Like, and even the Kansas game, the Army game, we've hit on it several times this year.
And I think in the Niagara game, they blasted on the screen. At that point, we were like number 1 in kill shots in the nation.
Yeah, we were up to like 12 or 13 at that point.
We were at 12. I think we had 3 in that game.
Yeah,
hadn't given up one either until we let Howard get us at home.
Yeah,
and we had at least one in the Howard game because we had an 11-0 run to like close the first half. I think.
Ironically,
like
there was only 2 schools with 10 or more kill shots, and UVA was the other one, which
not something to expect from UVA.
You can tell there's a new coach there.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, and also, I know we're getting ready to get out of here, but shouts to the ACC, man. We're not there yet. Like we're not getting these wins.
Hughes almost pulled one out.
Syracuse pushed Houston. Wake's pushed teams, man. Like they did get Memphis, but they pushed other big teams. Florida State's pushed.
No shout out to
Boston
NC State for falling to Seton Hall and being the first ranked team to lose.
Shouts to State. It's a little bit harder to play when you got a number beside your name, brother. So welcome to the league. Should be fun. But I guess we'll go ahead and we can kind of wrap up and get out of here. Before we do our last little thing, I meant to do this earlier, but so Shu had some good clips. We put them up on X/Twitter, asking the guys kind of about their Thanksgiving dish. Mac and cheese was the big takeaway. So just a little, we don't have to go through every guy here, but if you could assign a dish to them, what would they be? So let's start with Cam. So if you're comparing Cam to a Thanksgiving dish, he's the turkey for me, right? You're the turkey.
Right? Yeah.
He's the centerpiece, right? Everything revolves around him.
Everything goes around Cam. All right. 3 for 3. Big Pat.
Go ahead, Raul. What do you think?
I'm gonna go with the pun here. I think we mentioned offline, but stuffing, just because I like when Pat blocks a shot. So he's the biggest guy there too. So I don't know if that really works.
And our lob threat guy. So
exactly.
Stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna call him a ham, and just cheat and do the ham and a turkey because the ham's like kind of, it's like it's right there, but it's turkey's day,
Yeah.
But you right there, you're right there. But I like stuffing better. All right, I guess we'll go through the starters. Maybe we'll go through the top 8 or so. All right, let's do Dame. So our Mr. No Thanksgiving has no experience with this. First time at the table. What you got for Dame?
What would Dame? Tough to get around. So, drawing a blank here. What I would do with that?
I don't want to insult him by saying because it's everybody's least favorite thing. I feel like green bean casserole, just because he's so skinny and long.
Green bean casserole. Yeah, I like that.
And I'm he's never had Thanksgiving either, so I'll just give him the worst dish.
Yeah, give him he
won't know the difference.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's not bad. I like that. I like that. I was almost gonna say kind of like the mac and cheese because that's like the most volatile dish too. Like it can be your favorite, but like it's also like
Okay.
bad mac
I
and
like
cheese
that.
is garbage.
Yeah.
So like you never know.
I think that's the
Hold
Slim.
it
I think
together.
that's the one for Slim is the mac and cheese.
You going for the mac and cheese?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that too. I do like that. I like the mac and cheese.
Well,
okay.
Because for Slim, I didn't have a good reason, but I was going to pick mashed potatoes. So who would be the mashed potatoes if it's not Slim? Because I feel like mashed potatoes are like, everybody likes them, right? And it's always like a good choice.
I think it's Khamenia. I mean, he's getting beat up in that, but he's drawing fouls. You see him, he's got scrapes and cuts all over him. You've been mashed all up, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess the other direction you could go with that is like who's sort of like the reliable guy on the team. Maybe like Malik or something. Yeah, I don't know. Like you just know what you're going to get from him.
Well,
That'd be Cam again. That's the problem.
Yeah,
probably.
I think Malik, like we talked about offline. I mean, quick hands, like that's the deviled eggs. But you got to get in there quick to get any of them. You know.
Yeah, I'm going deviled eggs for Malik.
You better be fast with that.
Yeah, and for all the reasons, right? Like I'm stealing a couple before we even kick off. Things
before even anybody's got a plate. Yeah, I've already stuck in. And
I see somebody getting up for their second plate. I already got a head count of how many's up there. I'm about to go play some D. I'm about to block out the eggs first. Yeah, definitely going Malik for the.
And also just like with the name too, it's like he's the most like devilish guy on the team to my just like the things he tries to do like.
Just for sure.
Yeah, definitely go Malik. Did we come to a consensus on Slim? I like the green bean casserole I'll go green bean casserole. I almost kind of like that for now. So I like the green beans for Slim almost.
But. Yeah, because he's another
long and lanky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Caleb Foster might be one of the hardest ones here.
Yeah.
What are you going for, Caleb?
What do we got left in terms of like popular dishes?
He's I guess the junior. It's been up and down a little bit, right? But like he's coming through. He's kind of holding it together. He's not flashing on you, but like he's buttered up. I'm going yeast rolls.
He's going
gotta go with a solid yeast roll, a nice roll, not too burnt, but like,
and it seems like he's stepping into his role this year a little, obviously a lot better what he's been doing this year.
Yeah. Well, that kind of to work around the other way. Like we got like this pumpkin pie left over, and we've got I don't know. Sometimes you get a sweet potato.
For me,
because you're up 50, we might as well be up 65.
Oh yeah, get you a slice. Get you a slice. It is. Yeah, I like that. For me, he's my cranberry sauce. Yeah, he's my cranberry sauce. He's got the clean cut. He's always lined up. It's like, all right, man, he's my cranberry sauce. Take it or leave it, right? Khamenia is the one, man. That's a good one. What'd you say Khamenia was? The mashed potatoes?
Mashed potatoes, yeah.
That's a good one. Like that.
Yeah.
Did we give sweet potato casserole to anybody?
Yeah, that was the last thing that I was thinking of. That's like a common dish, right?
Sweet potato casserole, yeah. Jack Scott, baby, come in, hit a 3. Little pecans, nice little.
We didn't give anything to Cayden yet, did we?
That's true.
Oh yeah, we got Cayden. Maybe Cayden could be the sweet potato casserole. Let me think. All right, Cayden.
Little flashy passing.
Cayden was the only one that didn't give me mac and cheese. He gave me cornbread.
All right.
So when I asked, Cam gave me mac and cheese. Isaiah gave me mac and cheese before I could even get the question out. Like it was a no-brainer to him.
Okay.
Pat gave me mac and cheese, but also kind of caveat with the candy.
Shouts to the candied yams. Shouts to the candied yams. Yep. That's close to like sweet potato casserole. So maybe you like candied yams, but okay, that's close to that. Yeah. All right. So Cayden, that's a good one.
Yeah. So if Isaiah picked mac and cheese that quickly, I think we got to give him mac and cheese because we were thinking that's
okay.
Might be what it is.
Mac and cheese. Yeah. Is Cayden mashed potatoes? Did we give mashed potatoes?
I gave it to Khamenia, but
all right.
I can see it for Cayden too. Just like, dude is
what
like
about a pretty gravy. Just gravy, just a dish of gravy, just pouring it on everything. Man. Just put my whole plate up and just assist the whole plate, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, gravy.
Yeah, not looking for his own his own shot, right? He's just helping make
Nope.
everything better.
Making
Not even my
everything
own
better.
dish, but I am my own dish, but I
Yep.
compliment every other dish. Yeah, dude, it's gravy. Yep. That's fire. Yeah, I like that. All right. That was cool. And then, you know, obviously we'll come back after Thanksgiving. We'll react to the Arkansas game. You know, I think Ken Palm's got it as 84-74. That seems about right to me. That'd be a fun up and down pace. I think this is a later tip, so that's nice too. We get to kind of see the game a little bit, not having to run around.
CBS,
Which
too. I think it's 8
CBS.
o'clock CBS. Yeah.
8 o'clock CBS.
Nice.
That's perfect. Yeah, nice. So got to stay strong on the boards. Tempo is going to be a thing. How do we look? You know, they like to shoot very quickly. We defend for a long time. And so that's always going to be a little bit of, you know, what's that going to look like in real time? Hopefully we get the result that we want. Hopefully the fellas get to celebrate. Obviously for us, we want to win, but for John being back home, Thanksgiving, be nice for that to align for us. But we appreciate you all. Also, if y'all are out traveling, be safe, be responsible, have a good time, celebrate, all that good stuff. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Please rate, review, subscribe. You can email us to TheDevilsDen.com. You can find us on X/Twitter at DevilsDenPod247. And keep the faces strong and the verb high. Go do.